This is passable, but it's not perfect. Can we ask for perfection? I don't know. I think I'm giving too much benefit of the doubt. I am an artist. I have really clean sketches. This is abnormally clean. This is suspicious for sure. The situation started when Ruru or Merururu retweeted this artwork by Gami, who currently has 34K followers on Twitter, and says, yeah, about that, Gami has been using AI in her workflow and selling commissions, and attaches a doc, and retweeting an illustration Gami made that says, maybe I make ugly drawings, but at least I don't use AI. And here's the doc. Document on Gummy 1 AI usage. Disclaimer. Do not send hate to Gummy. This is merely for informing potential supporters and commissioners of the dishonesty about her workflow, including generative AI. This document and Gummy's accounts contain suggestive/NSFW content and links Gummy's main account, and Gummy's alt account. This document is best to read on desktop. The formatting is broken on mobile and description/images might not be displayed correctly. Introduction. First thing first, please read knowing Gummy herself has admitted to using AI in her workflow. And it's someone's DMs with Gummy and says, Gummy, are you using AI as reference for your art? And Gummy says, I do sometimes, yes, but I draw them again with my own two hands. I don't like taking them as literal references. This DM's with someone called No Name. Or I guess the person didn't want to be named? Either or. Anyway, now with this in mind, I will show why I think she wasn't only using references here and there, but one-to-one referencing or possibly tracing for a lot of her viral artworks. And also she sells commissions using AI without disclosing it to this day. I will document her daily posts and artworks, as well as conversations with her. Documentation. Gummy joined my Discord server around the start of October 2025, shortly after some of my members messaged me privately to warn me about her AI usage and her past drama, since I don't allow Gen AI in my server. I didn't want to assume things, so I took a good look at Gummy's artworks, and then decided it was best to ask her directly than to jump to conclusions. The messages are in Turkish, but you have translations. Translations are in purple. Some parts are blurred due to privacy of third parties, and to not bring back past drama that has already been settled. Translation. Ruru says, 3 things were brought up to me, and the people who brought them up will remain anonymous to avoid creating any drama. I think they mentioned these issues because they became worried when they saw that you joined my server, and they felt the need to warn me. The last issue is the claim that you trace using AI. Of course, there's no proof of that, and proving it is almost impossible these days. It's because both Clip Studio and Procreate have a feature to hide the reference layer when speed painting. I looked at your drawings a bit. Even though we follow each other, I'd never actually stalked your drawings before. And I personally found a few of your drawings suspicious, which is why I wanted to ask you. If you want, I can show you the reasons for my suspicions through the drawings and we can discuss it in more detail. And Gummy says, the AI tracing issue also arose because I was heavily referencing. I'm constantly sharing how I draw and the process anyway. I stopped referencing heavily quite a while ago. And the doc continues, since she claims she stopped heavily referencing quite a while ago, I showed her some of her recent illustrations that I found suspicious. She deleted this art post after this conversation, but still uses it as her banner on her Patreon. And it shows how the feet are not detailed, even though the rest of the skin is really detailed, I think, because they're not specifying what they're meant to be showing here, so I assume it's the rendering of the feet. But to be honest, feet are hard to draw, so benefit of the doubt could be given. I raised my concerns about how her anatomy knowledge and coloring skills didn't match some parts like feet and hands are drawn messily, despite the rest having pretty good anatomy. This is common with AI tracers/users. Her art skills also suddenly spiked after some point. This led me to believe these art pieces weren't only referenced, but one-to-one or traced. And here it shows September 2024, really pretty drawing, and December 2024, crazy improvement. And here an artwork, a really pretty artwork, and the hands are little. Actually, don't really see a problem with this hand. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers. Okay, it's not perfect, but I don't really. Artists will probably understand that the drawing above, now deleted, has pretty good anatomy overall. Yet the same level of skill doesn't apply to the hand. This issue is common in her drawings. Yeah, like, this is passable, but it's not perfect. Can we ask for perfection? I don't know. I think I'm giving too much benefit of the doubt. She also came to my server a couple of times to share her screen while drawing to prove herself, but she never sketches something from scratch. It was always something that was already drawn and halfway colored. She then sent me a speed paint as proof, but the speed paint didn't have a sketch, and she drew things mostly without guidelines. For example, drawing the lines for the legs without a guide and other similar things. It was not very convincing, as you can just hide the reference layer and pretend like you drew it. I then showed her art on the right, saying drawing something like this requires a lot of skill, and people who draw and Carl, like she did on the left, cannot draw like the right picture too at the same time. These two drawings are a few months apart, despite there being a huge skill gap. And holy skill gap, do I say that? Oh, but one could say this could be a quick sketch and this one a more refined piece. Like I said before, benefit of the doubt, but how much benefit of the doubt could you give? That's the question. Because we already said benefit of the doubt so many times. When is it too much? That's not up to me. She then kept insisting that she knows how to draw, arguing she has traditional art she can show. And translation says, Buru says, I repeat, this isn't about not being able to draw. That's why it's harder to distinguish when artists use it. But for example, when we go back in your gallery, there aren't any anatomy drawings like this or close to it. It's as if you suddenly drew it so well, especially if you go back to before the year AI became widespread. The drawings look quite different. It might be one of the drawings you heavily reference, as you said. It might be referenced from AI. And Gomi says, yes, I am referencing AI. I'm fed up with these VPN things. Here she admits to referencing AI for her work again. She doesn't disclose this on her VGen or on any of her socials. It's well known that using AI in any way isn't accepted by VGen. She also sells commissions there, meaning she has been and still is selling AI-assisted artwork without disclosing it, and attaches VGen's policies around AI, which, short answer, not until AI models are built and implemented ethically. So far, she had admitted to using AI for references. I asked her to see the references, and she used to check for tracing. Ruru says, can I see the reference you used for this image? And Gami says, I already had problems because I was getting very close references, and they told me it was AI before. Ruru says, or any other picture you used a heavy reference for? And Gami says, I don't save the photos, Ruru. Ruru says, using a one-to-one reference isn't good either because it's not much different from tracing. And Gami says, I realized that too. After that, I completely removed that instant referencing from my life. Now I just posed in my head and use 3D models. I'm about to rip off my nails too. Ruru says, it looks like you're regretting using heavy references. And Gami says, no, seriously, being called AI really hurts my pride. Ruru says, if you take a one-to-one reference from AI, it's perfectly normal for people to say that it looks like AI before it becomes AI indirectly. Because it becomes AI indirectly. And Gami says, I never thought of it that way because I drew it myself, but you're right. The doc continues, she didn't have any references to show, and here she says she thought because she had redrew the AI pictures, it still meant it was her own art. Despite all that, it looked like she regretted using AI in her workflow, but even after saying she stopped and being associated with AI hurts her pride, she still had drawings that were AI assisted posted on her socials like Twitter, VGen, and Patreon. Of course, undisclosed. I felt like she was not being honest. Rose says, but if the situation upsets and bothers you so much, why are these drawings still on your page? People who see them can just dismiss them as AI. And Gomi says, I don't usually have a habit of deleting posts. I generally post them and then forget they exist. But you're right, it would be good if I deleted them. Ruru says, and for example, even though you said to stop taking heavy references, a post of yours from May did no-name fan art looks like it's oh, so it is indeed just someone who would rather not be named. Let's see. The redacted fan art looks like it's referenced, unless you decide to stop using AI 2 to 3 months ago or so. This post makes your claim about you quitting using AI not convincing because you posted the AI reference art for personal promotion. And Gami says, I talked to Redacted about the situation too. I explained myself. I also apologize if it looked that way. And there's a note saying she did not apologize, confirmed with Redacted. And continues, and yes, I quit about 2 months ago. And another note that said, which means she says she quit using AI in August 2025. I understand how it looks. I removed the images I heavily referenced. I don't want to look like an artist who uses AI. She then went to her profile and deleted some of her artwork on her Twitter, but she did not delete any from her VGen and Patreon, which should be prioritary since it's where clients look. She said she stopped, so why did I make this doc? I wanted to trust her, so I let this matter go for a while, hoping for a good change. But recently, I came across some of her posts on my Twitter feed and wanted to check. I saw that her VGen still had verified commissions that had AI involved in the workflow of her portfolio, and she posted suspicious art again on her socials. She said she regretted using AI and did delete some of her more recent AI-assisted works from Twitter/X. She said she stopped in August 2025. But to this day, she still uses AI on some of her commissions in her VGen portfolio and still posts on her alt. She's also running a Patreon where she shares her NSFW art, which is also AI assisted. This is one of her recent Your Chart to Hear commissions on VGen, September 19, 2025. This Your Chart to Hear was created long before August and has the same skill gap as the examples above. Some positive this is AI assisted. She deleted this Your Chart to Hear offer on VGen, yet still does commissions with this Your Chart to Hear to this day. And it's an NSFW Your Chart to Hear that good luck Ping, who is my editor, censoring this because this is not YouTube friendly at all. December 1st, 2025, using the same Your Chart to Hear from her VGen despite the offer on VGen being gone. This means she's still selling the AI art. Again, string mostly done art with the same Your Chart to Hear. January 30, 2026. Good luck censoring this. She was posting previews to gather her audience on Patreon. You can see this also doesn't look like her real art, so most likely AI assisted. Same art on her Patreon, still up to this day. She also posted that she at least doesn't use AI. We frequently posted anti-AI content as well. And here the post we saw before, and here I always say AI sloppers. This is AI and the artist is lying. Do not be deceived. Unless they show an actual time-lapse, I'm not stupid and your quote-unquote sketch not a sketch. An artist with a trained eye can notice you're tracing over AI. Just a heads up, if you can normally draw while you're tracing AI, you look like a sore loser. And a drawing with a shirt saying fuck AI. She made this time-lapse post while still using AI in her workflow. She claimed to quit using AI during August, but this was posted on June 17. Fuck AI, but still use it. And let's see the time-lapse. Oh, why is it blurry? Wait, I am an artist. I have really clean sketches. This is abnormally clean. As someone with clean sketches. Okay, this is low-key weird. This is not a usual time-lapse at all. I'm not good at like telling weird stuff apart, but like, okay, there's like a blur that could have been traced, so it could have not been. And then she starts sketching the face, which some people do that, it's okay. And then with no shape blocking at all, which is like but in squares and circles, etc., and cylinders, etc., etc. Everything just comes to life, and nothing needs to be fixed. And then she does line art where nothing needs to be fixed, and then the coloring, nothing needs to be fixed either. She just puts the color and blends it a little. That's not usual. With coloring like this, it doesn't seem to be. This seems to be painted. Like it has line art, but the actual coloring seems to be painted from the way it's blended. So there's a lot of back and forth when painting. This is suspicious for sure. Another one that you have to censor. Have fun. This is the post and the quote retweet. This is also before August 2025. So she was still using AI in her workflow. I'm pretty positive this artwork is AI assisted, since her art before AI is vastly different in style and skill. Some people could already recognize the AI and call her out sometimes. This is how my Discord members knew, because the Turkish community is small, word spread fast about dramas like this. She was already known to use AI in the Turkish community. And there's someone saying, is this AI slop? The fingers look really off. And Gomi says, no, it's my art. I will now show the DM showing the document introduction. This is when I reached out to Redacted. Gomi had told me she had apologized to Redacted about the fan art she did for Redacted that looked like AI. Here are her DMs with Redacted. And Gomi sends a picture, and Redacted says, oh Gomi, what's your secret? How are you speeding like that? It looks amazing, but Booba should be bigger. And Gummy says, that is shading thing. The character she was drawing has very big boobs, like F cup big. She didn't seem inclined to change her sketch, using a weird skill that doesn't make sense. Yeah, because the boobs aren't big. It's not shading that's gonna make it look big. You need to touch stuff up. Possibly because the reference she was using had small breasts. Redacted noticed how Gummy's art quality didn't match her previous art, and how she wasn't willing to do changes like boob size. These red flags led Redacted to confront Gummy, which then resulted in Gummy admitting AI usage. This fanart was posted on December 29, 2024, now deleted. And Redacted says, Gummy, are you using AI's references for your art? And Gummy says, I do sometimes, yes, but I draw them again with my own two hands. I don't like taking them as literal references. And Redacted says, make sure to use different references as well, otherwise you can accidentally train yourself doing the same mistakes AI does. And Gummy says, I would rather sleep on ice than do AI mistakes on my own human-made art. I would never. Redacted was not informed until they asked. There isn't an apology as Gum claimed either. Redacted does not support AI and states it publicly. So Gummy made fanarts using AI for Redacted, knowing they're against it. That's why Redacted asked if Gummy was using AI, since they also found Gummy's art suspicious and wanted to check with her. All the artwork that was done for Redacted is now deleted from Gummy's profile. Artwork comparison. Why I think Gummy isn't only referencing, but referencing one-to-one or possibly tracing to this day. Her art skills without AI are vastly different from AI-assisted ones. She doesn't have any proper art videos showing her sketch phase, and her streams usually start from where I have done art. She doesn't show any of the images she says she's referencing from, so it's likely trace or one-to-one referenced. The skill gap. Her real art, November 19, 2025. I love this. This is so pretty. I love the colors. I love the way the skin's painted. You can see the less detailed hands as we saw before. I love the hair. I love everything. This is so pretty. AI assisted art, December 1st, 2025. And you can see there's a big difference on the way things are painted. Like, I would say they're both in the same broader style, but individually the skin rendering this one's much more cold, as in cold colors, where this one's much more warm. It could be a stylistic choice, but at the same time, November 26, 2024, 2024 and December 2024. This is the huge gap. One could say, oh, it's a sketch. After the person admitted to using AI, August 16, 2025, and December 23, 2024. Again, same thing. One could say, oh, it's because it's a quick sketch. How much can you trust it? Also, I seen this one. I can't really explain, but AI tends to make things really shiny, and the thighs and calves are really shiny. Like, not a human shiny, an AI shiny, if that makes sense. There's a difference, I just don't know how to explain. September 5, 2024. December 2024, April 20, 2025, and April 27, 2025. These two I find much more closer, to be honest. Like, if this is supposed to be her real art, I find those two much more close to each other, rendering wise and art style wise. It's not the same. Her eyes in this one lay much lower in the face, but I find those two much more similar. And this is a video commission, December 9, 2024. And this one is also a video commission, January 25, 2025. And I guess they're saying those two are AI referenced. Deleted artworks. After saying she was going to delete her heavy references from AI artworks, she deleted these art pieces from her Twitter. So, horny fox, horny art, a lot of horny art, I guess. Therefore, confirming she used heavy AI references, at least on these. There was more, but I didn't save everything before she mass deleted. The first art piece was also commissioned. This one was a commission, the horny fox. Conclusion. I'm positive Tagami still uses AI in her workflow, despite saying she regrets it and she quit in August 2025. As you can see in the document, she was still posting AI-assisted commission work on December 1st, 2025. I think the customers and her followers deserve to have transparency on her workflow. Not everyone wants to buy AI art or AI-assisted art. I hope this becomes an opportunity for her to finally come clean and draw without using AI, or if she continues using it, at least disclose it in her profiles and stop her activities on VGen, where people come to buy human-made art. Chogami, I was quite happy to have a Turkish artist friend, and I really wanted to believe you. Since the Turkish art community is already constantly in chaos, it felt really nice to have someone to talk to. But as time passed by, I realized you weren't being honest with me, or with yourself. I am normally not a person who writes docs like these, but I felt secondhand responsibility about this, since I'm also Turkish, from the same community. I really hope you can come clean. And this was the document. And people had comments about that. Tara Pancake says, by tracing AI, you're lobotomizing your skill and have zero chance to develop your own art style that makes you stand out. I could pick 20 other trace AI pics on VGen and you wouldn't be able to tell they are drawn by different artists because they all look the same always. Ruru says, it kills one's art style entirely. It's like an angel losing its wings to me. Shay says, it's disappointing. Loki reminds me of so many artists to hear VGen listings, especially of sexy poses, with dynamic compositions and bare skin clothes, background shading, yet the quality of the rest/final art looks incoherent. And Ruru says, unfortunately there are so many artists using AI without disclosing it. Some can get away because they already have the skills to draw so it doesn't stand out, but cases like these are very obvious. And people had comments as well. For example, Hex2 says, I'll post this now because it's happening so much. Just because you don't see the usual AI red flags, hair disappearing, stuff melting into each other, etc. No, it's so fucking easy for digital artists with experience to trace AI to suddenly improve. Example, they send someone a sketch, they really like it, and then boom, it's traced from AI. Which they're saying it's easy to hide that you're tracing AI if you know how to draw. He continues, I was showing my friend how easy it is to get away with it. Please know I only did this to show her. I did not save this. I did not post or finish this trace art. I also did not generate the art. I picked one randomly on Google. If you don't want to support AI, be vigilant. The signs are almost always there. Heck, ask your artist friends. Most don't mind trying to help. I'll show examples of my usual art to show my current skill. And it's so pretty. I'm so in love. I'm so in love with the art, OMG. And Gomi's past clients had things to say. DD says, I'm quite upset right now. I loved Gomi's art ever since she popped on my timeline somewhere during 2024 or 2025. I always wanted to get a pretty piece of art from her, and I did it. I commissioned her back in September 2025. Even if I would wish now due to this that I could take this back and never get this art, there's nothing I can do about it now. And even if she didn't use AI in my art by some miracle, which I wouldn't believe that I am some special case, I can't use it anymore with clear heart. It would be nice if artists were straightforward with their clients. I am against AI and I will always be. I do not wish to support AI art, and now my 60 USD is basically down the drain. Please be more careful about who you commission. I guess I've learned my lesson. Of course I noticed the wonky hands, but I wanted to chuckle it up to it being just colored sketch commission. But now I don't don't know who to trust anymore. And as mentioned, we can't know if this one was AI assisted or not. There are big chances of it being AI assisted, but we can't be sure. And Ruru says, I'm so sorry you had to go through this. This is exactly why it's important to disclose that what you use and just be transparent. Thank you for supporting real art. And Didi says, yeah, it's so sad seeing more and more artists turn to AI, especially when it's someone you look up to. Thank you mostly for making that dog. Hopefully, future possible clients will see it and will think twice about spending their hard-earned money on AI. Kalmia says, I'm honestly pretty shocked and disappointed to hear that Gomi uses AI in her work. I've been a fan for a long time and have commissioned her multiple times. I don't believe any of my commissions involved AI since they were done before/during October 2024. But learning this still feels really disheartening, especially since I looked up to her and drew inspiration from her art. And the pieces, Kalmia commissioned from Gomi, really pretty pieces. And replying to this, Malo says, I commissioned Gomi last year around September/October. Despite taking a little longer than expected, she still finished it. The sketches were done in Cal on my own server, as well as the finishing touches. The main bulk was done on stream. She didn't use AI at all, as far as I know, and attaches a video of an animated illustration. And Ruru made another tweet saying, seems like the situation was worse than I thought. Outside of AI, there are also unethical practices like ghosting clients, doing raffles but not drawing the winner. You can read about these here with proof. Gummy Commissioner DMs and more. After the initial doc, I share about Gummy's undisclosed AI usage. People who work with Gummy have reached out to me and asked me to share these as well. Rush commission followed by ghosting. VTuber Mochi Mochi have commissioned Gummy on VGen after seeing her commission for another VTuber in September 2024. Mochi wanted a similar styled commission for her and commissioned Gummy, but the piece she received didn't look similar in style to what she asked for and seemed rushed. And there's definitely a difference, I would say. Mainly in the hair looks unfinished. Mochi 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 says, so I paid for a surprise delivery commission. This was the art I saw her do for Leona. After she posted this on Twitter, she was like, should I do more commissions like this? She then shortly opened them. I ended up paying 40 USD for it. I was expecting this style and quality, but sadly I did not. This is Mochi's charter reference. This looks nothing alike. Sorry, this looks nothing alike. She wanted the ears down like this, so she sent the image below. Okay, this is more similar color-wise, but these two have vastly different colors. I'm confused. Mochi felt like her commission was rushed. Bad, I think, slime? The ears, the hair. To be honest, we don't know if Mochi Mochi sent this reference as well, or just this one. We don't know. That makes sense to me if this was the only reference sent. In this scenario, that makes sense to me. You can see the Mochi blob is not shaped correctly. The ears look sketchy, and other parts as well, while the sample had more proper lines. Mochi then reached out to Gomi on VGen about her dissatisfaction. Hi, Angel Puff. I have a question about my surprise delivery. I ordered it based off the images I posted on your Twitter. When I went to see mine today, I was very unhappy about the quality. Is there a reason why the two photos are both so different in quality? I also noticed her bottom right thigh forgot to be colored in right below her thigh bracelet. And Gomi says, she had a very filled up design, that's why I had to pay more attention. My personal opinion is that I shaded yours more, but if you're happy with it, I can retouch on it later this week. And Mochi Mochi circles the ears and the slime and says, I'm sorry, but I feel like this piece was rushed and not treated with the same care. I circled the part of the thigh where it is missing color, it's just white. The mochi and the ears also feel rushed. You say you shaded mine more, but the thighs are not shaded at all. I'm just a bit upset because I was really looking forward to this piece. Thank you for offering to retouch it. I really appreciate it. Unfortunately, after this point, Gomi ghosted Mochi and the commission review period ended on VGen. Mochi didn't receive any touch-ups as promised or any updates. Mochi left a 1-star review. And overall thoughts from Mochi. All the parts that circle my commission that I felt like were very poor quality. Overall, this is the most poorly rushed commission I have ever received. I hope the other clients got justice, and I really hope she gets a warning or some sort of consequence, because it's not right to take people's money for rush, sloppy work. Don't rush and take a lot of commissions because you're thinking about the money. You also have to think about the clients and make a work that reflects how much you love your art and how much you care about the client as well. And proof of payment that they paid 45 USD on it. Giveaway winner didn't get their art. Gummy and a couple of other artists have made a studio called Mellow Studio back in 2023 June, and attached is the video link. Gummy was drawing, Unknown was drawing the art. They were offering VTuber assets, models, etc. Around January 2024, they created a chibi VTuber model called Mellow Chibi. With Gummy's suggestion, they made an art plus rig raffle for these chibi models to boost up their new product. Raffle was held 7th of January 2024. The winner didn't get their model for 10 months, so they decided to tax on October 19, 2024. The winner ended up not getting their art after 1 year. They didn't even get a reply from Gummy. The rigger Unknown was very upset at Gummy not providing the art since it was a collab raffle, so they stopped working with Gummy. Mellow Studio became inactive. Unknown then reached out to the winner. Hello, redacted. I hope you're doing fine. I'm so sorry for a sudden DM. I don't know if you remember, but me and another artist had this giveaway for a free Mellow model a while back, and you have won the giveaway. However, since the giveaway, me and the artist had stopped communicating, and I've realized around September 2024 that you still haven't drawn your model. I kinda reminded them a couple of times, but seems like she won't be bothered by it. Though I don't like deceiving people, so if you'd be okay with it, I'd like to make you a chibi model after my current comments are done, and a little apology gift, like the chibi icon, if that's alright. Would you be able to send me a ref sheet? And redacted says, oh, hello. Yes, I do remember. I did check in with her a few times with very little response. I'm currently at work right now, but when I get home, I can send you my references. Thank you so much. Unknown says, of course, in the end, you did win. I might take a while due to my health issues. I work a little slow, but I will provide you with updates. I'm very sorry again for what happened. I will make sure you get a nice TV model in the end. And they say, my design is getting a rework, so this is the reference we're working with right now. Also, if possible, if this can be kept a secret, that would be much appreciated. I have not revealed any new design stuff yet to my audience. Also, here are the DMs, not much as I didn't want to be pushy, and they didn't say I was on the calendar. My most recent message went unanswered. Also, ×3 lol. It may be easier to get a hold of me on Discord, and they dropped your username. Unknown is currently working on the model for the winner, both audio rigging because she felt responsible. Even though the art part was supposed to be done by Gummy, since Gummy ghosted, Unknown took it on. Unknown and Gummy cut ties. Gummy then hosted more raffles. Gummy's current VGN commission queue. Some clients have been waiting since 2023 on paid commissions. You can see here, 2023, waitlist. Hi, 2023 here. Poorly done model commission. Client commissioned Gummy for a VTuber model with multiple outfits. Really cute. On the third outfit, the client asked for thigh-high socks, but they were satisfied with the result. This was the final delivery, and the client, despite paying 1000 USD, is not using the model. Proof of payments. Yeah, this does feel not very shady compared to the others. Proof of payment. Undelivered models. During October 2024, Gummy launched a project under their studio called Found Studio. This is a studio that makes VTuber models, and Gummy is the artist. The project was called Fruit Girls, and it was an audition-based VTuber model giveaway with some rules. The rules were what benefits we will receive. VTuber model ready to use. Art by Gummy 1, Live 3D by Redacted. VTuber graphics. Schedule, panels, overlays, etc. Our love and support. New friends. Do we receive salary/wage? No, we are not a company or agency. We will support and uplift you, however. Any money you receive from streams is all yours, but we cannot provide a salary to any member. Are Gummy and Redacted part of the group? No, we will be the parents of the group, but not part of it itself. We will support and love you though. Do I get to keep the model and assets for myself in case I leave the group? No, if you decide to leave the group, you won't be able to keep the model or any assets that belong to that design. We reserve the right to keep the model and will give it to someone else. So it seems like they were going to do like pre-made bundles and give it to people in a group. So basically, the girls who passed the audition would receive free VTuber models, as well as additional graphics, etc. But if they decided to leave, they cannot use the given model anymore. One of the girls reached out to me to talk about their experiences in the project. And Redacted says, she gathered us and Zumi's model was ready first. We should then gave it to Zumi. They wanted all the girls to debut together, Zumi waited. I send you screenshots of whenever Gummy gave updates. Peach was also done, but Gummy didn't give it to her. Then she started working on the ferret. And then showing whips. After the update stopped, the girls waited a bit, but then they decided to reach out to raise their concerns. Redacted says, hey Gummy and Redacted, I am sending this message on behalf of me and the girls, and I would like to say we are all tired of the unresponsiveness, lack of communication, broken promises, and lack of care. We all joined this group as people who needed leverage to stream, all looking forward to the promises of a free model and design and also a group of people just like each other. But due to the lack of communication and progress on the model side of things, it felt off. Content would have been made if we knew the models were being worked on and would have been finished, and even more so with them. But since we didn't get that communication, no one continued to put in the effort for things they were pretty sure weren't going to happen. I am grateful to be someone who got a model, but I am very upset about how my new group of friends felt very uncared about. They didn't get any of their models and were basically lied to. And also this was the main reason why Redacted left, because she felt like she didn't get the consideration she deserved. I hope what you take out of this will be, don't bite off more than you can chew. You can't promise someone something and then just expect them to be okay with it when you stop working on that thing because you're bored. I am also speaking of this from the standpoint of knowing people have paid Gummy to make them things and she still hasn't finished them months and months after. If you aren't prepared to give them a refund, then that can lead to serious bad backlash in the future. Me, Redacted, and Redacted would have understood if the model had taken a month to finish, but it has now been 8 months. Not only that, Gummy has just previously brought it up again and has stopped responding once more. If this project was too hard to handle, you can just say so, and most of us can move on, stop hanging off of empty promises. If you would seriously like to commit to this group, you also need to communicate that and fix these issues. But at this rate, I don't even know if everyone would be willing to be in a group again due to how long it's been. The reason why they're saying we would have understood if the models had taken a month to finish, but it has now been 8 months, is because Found Studio had posted that they can't finish and deliver models in around a week. And here's a screenshot of Found Studio saying, hello, we're a small 3-people studio that are able to produce a VTuber model with good quality in around a week. Here are our most recent models. And attaches 2 models, really pretty if I do say so myself. Finishing a whole VTuber model in good quality, both art and rig, in around a week is a big claim. As many of you know, making a model is a very time-consuming process. This is why many artists or riggers ask for more time. I take like 4 days to rig a model, but I know I'm crazy, so don't take me for comparison. I'm crazy, and I know that. This was Gummy and the rigger's response. I apologize for the lack of communication on my end. I am very overworked and I do my best on keeping up with everything. Art is my only income, so I have to keep working most of the time. That being said, I have finished 3 of the models, and already have sent them over to Redacted. I am not blaming her in this, she also has her own commissions that she has to work on. Please do keep in mind that Fruit Girls is a passion project on my end. I do not gain anything from making new models. I understand you, I really do, but I am booked until September and am drawing constantly. For the last model also, I have started drawing her. I don't usually have the time to just sit down for days and work only on one thing, since I have commissions that hit me constantly. I was hoping to finish her later this month since I am done with my year for school. Nobody lied about anything. I told you guys from the start that I would do my best and I am doing so. I still am sorry that you guys felt not cared for. I never wanted this. All I wanted was to be able to help you guys grow and make content the way you guys wish to make. And Redacted says, hi, sorry for the late reply. I totally understand where you guys are coming from and want to apologize how this project has been handled. Both me and Gummy started this thing as a passion project. Back when we started, our own personal circumstances were quite different. Gummy's in school, grinding writing for her finals, and also working on her commissions to generate an income. My own circumstances have changed as well. Back when Gummy invited me to help her, I was doing live 2D part-time and didn't have that many commissions, so I had the time to take on unpaid work. Now I'm doing this full-time and need to work on paid stuff to pay my bills. That doesn't mean that I stopped wanting to work on the fruit gals. I have been working as much as I can on the other models. I had Redacted finished but wasn't happy with the rig, so I wanted to redo it. I've been working on Redacted in between comms in my free time as well. Both me and Gummy are a little overworked. This is of course no excuse for how you guys ended up being treated. I apologize that this has been stretched out for so long. I'm doing my best to make sure you guys get good quality models and not something that is rushed and looks like shit. But after this, again, there were no updates. So the girls left one by one, except for the first girl who was able to get her model, and girls leaving and no response to that. This document might get updates if other past clients give permission or reach out. And Gummy replied and said, I have done a speed paint to address the AI allegations. This was done completely live on Twitch with a full display screen showing my entire process. The link to the VOD is down below. I am aware of the other things being said and everything will be addressed soon. There's a lot to go over and I want to make sure I address everything. This has been a lot to take in, so I thank you for your patience. And this is a speed paint. So it already started with a face. So it wasn't from the zero, it started with a face. See, it started with a face. And then no shape blocking, straight to the body. So no base shape blocking, straight to the body. They are retouching things, but those are very minor things. Then line art. Everything's perfect without the shape blocking, which is not usual at all. And then they're already painting the rendering without a color in the back, which is not optional because having a color in the back helps dictate the color palette of the illustration and how light something will be and how dark something will be. Color theory, I don't know how to explain, but it's color theory stuff. And now there's a background. They rendered, I guess they're putting effort on the render. Now they're rendering the lag. So I can see them doing the rendering, but the sketch is very suspicious. And Ruru retweeted and says, you have admitted yourself that you used to heavy reference from AI, even deleted the ones you said were heavy references, expressing a regret. Some of those were paid commissions. The clients were not informed or refunded. So there is no argument that some of your work was heavy referenced from AI and sold. No allegations there. Also, no one ever said you can draw or all of your art was AI assisted. But even this art you made today is not the same level as your AI assisted artworks. I was honestly just expecting a sincere apology to your supporters and clients, so this is quite disappointing to see. And then Ruru made another quote retweet that said, also the fact that she used AI references during live stream too. Before and after she used reference, one of many. So this was the before. I guess they were not sure how to do the knee. And this is the after. And this is the reference used, clearly AI. And then Gummy did another tweet saying, sorry for the wait, and linking a Google Doc that says, I'm sorry for taking this long to address all this. I had some time to myself. I had to calm down before I made a statement on the matters in hand. I would like to start by apologizing to all my clients that felt wronged by me using AI as reference for their artworks. I will be transparent in my art process going forward. I have clear communication with my clients to make sure they are satisfied with the commissions they will be getting. If any of my current ongoing commissions have paid for their commissions, want their funds refunded, I'll be refunding your funds. Also, if any of my commissioners want their progress recorded for full transparency, if it means they will feel more secure about their commission. I will also be posting that on YouTube as an unlisted playlist, so there will be a record of all the work I will be doing. This is not an excuse. I have been really busy with real life stuff and school, and some of my work has been rushed because of this. I have been very responsible with my scheduling, and will be getting help on my scheduling moving forward. I am also thankful for people who have patiently waited for their commissions. I am sorry it took as long as it did for me to get them done. I am sorry for disappointing everyone, and I promise to do better moving forward. And Ruru replied and kinda Racheled them because, yeah, they Racheled them, saying, you didn't address the raffle winner or the past lines of Borch's AI assisted work without knowing. If rebuilding trust is the goal, taking full accountability is the first step to that. I believe those situations should be acknowledged and refunded properly as well. And to close it off, Ruru retweeted Gomi's statement and says, I did what I felt was right and shared the evidence. I stand by that. Gomi has made her statement as well, and what people choose to believe after reviewing the evidence is up to them. I won't be engaging further. I hope the people affected get the clarity and compensations they deserve. So this is, I wouldn't say the situation is messy, but I would definitely say the situation is long. And sad, also sad for all the clients who got AI assisted work without knowing. But what about you? What do you think about this? Don't forget to leave a comment. Bye bye!